morning, people. Thank you for your wonderful efforts on Friday with PSHE and a bit of fun time on that live session. Hopefully you find the maths one useful as well today, so we'll get straight into that tomorrow again, and we'll see how we get on. Today for writing, I've got your date and LO on the board. Please get that into your red books. What I'm going to ask you to do in a moment is just pause the video. I've got to start on the next page. So, as normal, 3 sentences, edit and improve them, just to keep up your ideology of, you know, and the ideas behind grammar work and fixing, you know, where you need to put your full stops, your capital letters. And we're going to change that next week. We're going to look at fronted adverbials again as starters and try and keep that up. But remember, please remember, guys, Maths Shed will help you out with a lot of stuff in maths. Spelling Shed will help you a lot of stuff with maths. There is some stuff coming up for SPAG work as well, so we'll have a look into that over the next few weeks. Pause the video now, and I'll come back to you in a minute. Alright guys, there's your 3 starters. Please make sure you get starter as a subheading in there as well. I've missed that off. Just on that for you. So, starter. And nice and neatly on the line that, guys, okay. Make sure you get those 3 sentences in. Quite important, because to me, you know, considering we're at home, we want to keep up those same standards, don't we, guys? So have a look at those sentences. I'm going to pause again. Edit them with your purple pens. Won't be a minute. Alright guys, let's go for it. So, first sentence, Mr. Simpson likes burgers, chips and ketchup for dinner. So, capital N, capital S for 2 proper nouns, Mr. and Simpson likes burgers, comma, chips and ketchup for dinner. Excellent stuff, guys, alright. Now, the idea that you get full stops in there has never been hard for you guys, you know. Make sure that you get your capital letters in there as well. And then obviously into commas now, making sure that they're in your sentences for things like lists. Alright. Number 2, Mr. Horsley, again, bellowed, "You must not touch that." I don't think I've ever heard Mr. Horsley bellow, but synonym for said, something that's different. Mr. Horsley said, "You must not touch that." It's not going to give us much of a expression-wise, is it? So I like the word bellowed anyway, because get really deep from the lungs, guys, okay? If he's bellowing something, he's obviously talking. Capital to start, "You must not touch that." Exclamation to finish. Close off your exclamation marks, but after bellowed, comma please, okay? That's your, it's a staple really, basically, guys. If you, before you start any direct speech, before you open up those inverted commas, you must have that comma after your synonym for said. Okay. Question 3, or statement 3. Lately, Miss First has been creating waterfalls with her class, although these aren't finished. Lately needs a capital to start. Needs a comma, as it is a fronted adverbial. Okay. Fronted adverbial of time tells us lately. Miss Fairhurst needs a capital M, capital F, has been creating waterfalls with her class. It's a main clause, okay? Although, subordinate conjunction, okay? Although these aren't finished. We need an apostrophe in between N and T, as there's a missing letter there, and finished needs a full stop directly after it, okay? This is quite important, this section, because this creates what we call the subordinate clause. These aren't finished, there's something that comes added on to that main clause, okay? Although needs a comma in front of it, just to action it as a sort of a breath, if you like. That's how we remember it in year 3, isn't it? Okay. When you take a breath, you pause, don't you? You take a pause within that sentence. So after the main clause, before the subordinated conjunction, that needs to be on there, okay? Well done, guys. Moving on. Just thought I'd show you this slide again, because your LO today is to, again, examine the features of a... So, main parts of a biography and autobiography. the fact that an autobiography is written by the person who's the text is based on, and then a biography is written about that individual from an outsider's perspective. Just thought I'd show you this next one as well, though, guys. This is something that we brought together from last week's activities. You know, some main focuses, main parts of a biography: dates, pictures, background information, subheadings, and quotes. You know, there's quite a lot that you forwarded to me there. To be honest with you, absolutely superb research, and you're recognising those key features especially well. So I just thought we'd finish off this sort of section on features and move on to actually the written element of a biography tomorrow. I found this poster as well. I mean, the main point of this picture to me was this part, chronological order, and we discussed this in class about a week ago. We talked about chronology, and chronological basically means in time order. Okay, so just to make you aware that, you know, in time order, and it's basically that facts are shared from the beginning of their life to the end of their life if you're studying an individual. So say, for example, Winston Churchill's, it would start off with where he was born, where he went to primary school, where he went to secondary school, finally moving on into later life as he grows to be an adult. Some common features, we've talked about lots of these. There might be a timeline on there, might be some dates, locations of famous things that they've done in their lives, and some dialogue and quotes by that person. You know, particularly these characters here. Malala Yousafzai, so she's a lady that's one of your, if you don't know who she is, you should do, guys, but she's one of our house team names, okay, and you've got Martin Luther King there, and then you've got Jackie Robinson, baseball player, okay, a couple of others there as well. Moving on, this is your task today, and it is a text. Now, what I'd like you to do today, guys, is have a look at key features, then an example of that feature, and explain to me what the purpose of that feature is. Now, on the second sheet here, a picture of Winston Churchill on, we're going to basically carve up a featured example of Winston Churchill's biography. What I'd like you to do is have a look at each feature that we've just discussed, then find an example, then the purpose. So, if I look at, say, one of the first features, maybe the title. You could have the title or you picture an image at the top of this. But if we say title first, title in this box, okay, then I'd have to find an example that goes with that. What is an example of a title? Maybe Winston Churchill. And it's a mix and match activity basically, guys, that you have to locate the key parts to. Winston Churchill. And then what is the purpose of a title? That's basically what that purpose box means, the purpose section. What's the purpose of a title? Is it to keep all the information in order? Does it start the biography? Does it sit at the top of the text? Does it tell you a key feature? Well, yes, it does. This one here, guys, fits at the top of the text, sits there to tell the reader who the text is about. Okay, so you'd add that to that purpose box here. What I'd like you to do, have a look at the other key features, 5 in total on this bit here, guys, and then find your examples and your purposes. Have a go, either in your red books, you could draw this table out, or you could have a look at the exact templates that are attached, and you can try and work it, as I know so many of you are really good at, by using the Seesaw activities and the sort of text boxes, you know, adding your text boxes into that template. Have a go, guys, see what you can get done. Send me your examples. Thank you.